season has its milestones, and this year marks the 20th season that Joe Tout will be coaching the Bulldogs of Northern Lehigh. Recently, our sports director, Bob Capasso, spoke with the coach and some of his players about the message that Tout has been passing along for 2 decades.
He was the obvious choice, but it put him into an unenviable position of having to replace a legend. When Jim Tack stepped away after leading the Bulldogs to 4 colonial titles, 2 district championships, and a state final, his assistant Joe Tout was named the Northern Lehigh head coach. Now in his 20th year, Tout has survived and thrived.
You know, the old saying, you don't want to be the guy to replace a legend, you know, and I, you know, you feel proud that you survived it and you've had success. But I always say it's not me, it's all the guys I've coached with over the years, you know, and being able to find guys to fill those spots when you have guys leave your staff. So it's definitely a group effort.
And that group has largely stayed together for 2 decades.
I was a high school player that had 3 different head coaches in 3 years, and all these years later, I remember how bad that stunk to not have continuity. I like to think that we give our kids something they can depend upon, you know, that they know that we're gonna have that same program, which, you know, the ultimate goal is to help develop them as young men.
Tout has now coached the Bulldogs to 2 league championships, 3 district titles, and a state semifinal. The most important thing for him has been the lessons taught.
You know, there's days you don't want to get up, you don't want to do stuff, and you know, this is what gives you that discipline, you know, to let yourself know I could do this. You know, whether someday they might have a family, they got to earn for their family. You know, it could be a class in high school, it could be a job, it could be college. You know, to me, these things are supposed to teach you this is tough. Not everybody has that will to do it. Some people quit, they walk away. You're hoping to teach people in life, you know, this is the type of stuff that allows you to survive the tough times.
I learned that football's a grit sport. He brings like that old school mentality to the game, not like all the new era kind of stuff.
Being a student athlete, you know, student first, athlete second, he really harps on, you know, getting their schoolwork done. Definitely, you know, you don't be ineligible on a Friday night. So, and he, especially being from Schuylkill County, he's really instilled that Schuylkill County toughness in us.
Another year of lessons begins in just over a week. From Northern Lehigh, I'm Bob Capasso, 13 Sports.